When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. How are you? Hey, Dawn. Good to see you. We'll wait for people to see if they got their notifications. Alexis, Jules, good morning. How are you? Bob, Karen, Alan. How is everybody? Jerry, good to see you. The Rayet. not sure what that is. Chrome Man 9073. How are you? Danielle, I didn't have to opt in live this time. Good morning, Vietnam. Yes. How is everybody? Thank you for inviting your followers in. For those who didn't get first, last, 33, why? Hey, Conwell. New people coming in today. Good to see you. Good to see you. Daniel, Wayne, hello. Lynn, good to see you. Well, thank you, Bob. I'm fine, Jerry. Thank you for asking. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. Dave, good to see you. Hello, Lynn. Yeah. Okay, Dave. You're probably in the wrong scope, just to let you know before you get started. Hey, Noel, good to see you. Has Hawaii exploded yet? Dawn asked. No, not yet, Dawn. But looking pretty bad, I can tell you. There's a high alert over there. Just a little reminder, good morning. My ears are not like yours. Available at Amazon.com. A great story for children to give them encouragement, hope, set them on the right path. Again, My Ears Are Not Like Yours at Amazon.com. Over 30,000 teachers at North Carolina rally yesterday. Hey, Don. Good to see you. Any more quakes? We have a little swarm of quakes, but they've kind of calmed down a little bit, so we haven't had any more of those recently. So hopefully we're not going to. We will, but hopefully we're not going to. Okay, so let me read to you very quickly before we get started with the news. Let me read you Romans 13. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Do you want to be unafraid of the authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise for good. No, wait. And you will have praise from the same. For he is God's minister to you for good. But if you do evil, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is God's minister, an avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. Therefore you must be subject, not only because of wrath, but also for conscience sake. For because of this you will also pay taxes, for they are God's ministers, attending continually to this very thing. Render therefore to all their due, taxes to whom taxes are due, customs to whom customs, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Good morning, Barbara. So I think that's, and all the Bible, amen, yes, done. I think it's really 3 minutes in, trolls are already flooding in the scope. I know, Brandon, you know. Hey, Hassan. Gary, good morning, good to see you. So for Chesy, hey, for those people who are resisting this president, resist his being president, try to stop this president and everything that he does, Romans 13, let me just, kind of guide you over to that section. Hey, Coley, good morning. My goodness. So what's everybody been up to before we get started? Wall going up in New Mexico. Good. Wall's been going up in San Diego. Don't know if you saw yesterday when all of the people from California that got together with the president in the meeting and sort of a listening session, if you will. That was very good to see. Very great encouragement for people in California. Very encouraging. Very, very, very encouraging. The guy from Los Alamitos, I guess, I don't know if he was the mayor. I can't remember his name. I think it was maybe a city council or the mayor. But anyway, he choked up because they were the first to speak out against the sanctuary city laws in California. And he got choked up about it. And it was just really great to see and hear what people were saying. Resistance is futile, Gary said. Hey, Mark, good to see you. So it was just really nice to see him and everybody else talking about Moonbeam and how they're against it. I think people falsely believe that California, well, you voted for it, why are you against it now? We didn't vote for sanctuary cities. We weren't given the choice to vote for anything. Hey, Tillett, it was thrust upon us by the Democrat leadership, and that's what we got. And the people of California don't want it, and they've made it pretty clear. Good to see a few from Riverside County. Yes, it was, Noel. It really was. Lake Elsinore is a very small community, but it only takes one community to get things started. I think it should be all over Riverside County and all over everywhere else. Don says he will not be assimilated. So far this week, power has gone out, water went out due to repairs, and neighbor's apartment caught fire. Wow, Brandon. Oh, San Jacinto was there too. Okay. Yeah, I didn't remember seeing them, but I did watch it. And it was, it's what we need to see. And I think that, they asked for the president to help them. And he said that he would. Hey, Bob, good morning. Said that he would help them. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Jeff Sessions actually does something and helps them. Hey, Debbie, good morning. And that would be good because we absolutely need help. You talk about all the lawsuits and how it's going to be costly trying to go against California and join in there. And California knows that. And I guess Jerry Brown didn't like what happened yesterday. He tends to not like anything that kind of, suggests something about his empire. Hey, Chicago Pops. So what happens is that the president, let's see, was that lady that talked about church telling her to tell Trump to help them. Yeah, I think that was what she was saying. I forget where I was going with that. I stopped and I read that and I was like, okay. Oh, Jerry Brown is still around. Yeah, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown is going to be out soon. But Jerry Brown came out and said, President Trump called illegal immigrants animals. And anybody who listened to it knows darn well that President Trump was talking about MS-13. So I guess now, if you're the New York Times or if you're Andrea Mitchell, you're going to protect the MS-13 and talk about how wonderful they are. I mean, give me a break. They are animals. If you've ever been down to the border, maybe you should come and at least watch some of the documentaries about what happens at the border with the MS-13, how they rape women, how they kill women, kill men, kill children. They don't care. That's right, Bob. Some people are animals. At MS-13, they're animals. Trust me, they're animals. So, to sit there and try to make something up again. Read Romans 13, Jerry Brown. If you know where to find the book, read Romans 13. Yeah, animales. Since we're on California, I don't know if you saw the explosion that happened the other day in Aliso Viejo, which is basically Orange County. And Orange County is in between San Diego County and L.A. What happened was there was a spa. Wasn't Jerry a Jesuit? I have no idea what Jerry is, other than just being a clown. I have no idea. I asked my friend to post photos of San Diego. It's bad. Are you talking about the homelessness in San Diego, Alexis? So anyway, the side of the wall basically blew out in Aliso Viejo. And the woman, they have determined now, the spa owner, a pretty woman, I don't know, I think she was 40, She opened up a package and it exploded. It killed her. It sent two others to the hospital, and one person had smoke inhalation. Hey, Carmen, that was, she was cleared to go at the scene. They arrested a 59-year-old man today, but so far they haven't charged him with the crime. We don't know, Danielle. They haven't charged him yet with any crime other than the fact that he had an illegal, illegal whatever, like a bomb or illegal materials, let's just say. So they've charged him with that. So we've yet to determine who's going to be arrested and charged with her murder. Bad dreams and sleep. That's okay, Carmen. So anyway, that's a pretty horrible thing. That doesn't typically happen in Orange County or LA or any place like that. Very unusual to have that happen. People were asking at the briefing, did you suspect anything like this after Austin? I don't know if it's somebody like in Austin, or as Danielle was asking, is it her ex-boyfriend? Is it somebody she knows? Who knows? At this point, who knows? Is it somebody who was disgruntled from the spa? You just never know. I mean, crazy is crazy. That's all I can say. So, anyway, on to other things. I want to talk a little bit about Amir Safadi. He came on beholdisrael.org. He came on and gave a Middle East update. I don't know if any of you guys heard it yesterday, but it is something that I think there are a few points that he made that I really wanted to talk to you about. You know that you heard about 60 people were killed at the Gaza Strip, and they were trying to say that those were just, innocent civilians. Well, even Hamas came out and said those were, out of the 60, 50 of them were our own terrorists, who were out there fighting Israel. Hey, Jennifer. And so they even admitted that they weren't, but they were terrorists. About 50 of them were actual terrorists. 10 of them, the other ones that got killed, or they didn't actually, I don't think they got killed, they got injured. Those people were paid to be there. They were promised that if they would go there, they would be paid. Now, Hamas, I think, thought all of those people were going to be killed, much to probably their dismay. Those people were only injured, and so they want their money. And, of course, there is no money unless Iran gives them money. I don't know how they're going to get their money. So that I wanted to tell you. Also, he was talking martyrs for propaganda. That's right, Brandon. He was also talking about the baby. You heard a young child. Good morning, Sherry. A young child was killed there. Now, first of all, ask yourself, who in their right minds would take a young child onto the Gaza Strip during an attack, right? It just wouldn't happen typically. But anyway, the young baby, apparently, California is now leading the resistance against the Democrats. That's right, and they need to, Bob. Apparently, the baby had a heart condition that nobody wanted to report in the news. And that same baby, they had sought help. Hey, Rhonda, good morning. They had sought help from Israel like a week or so, or a couple weeks beforehand. Hey, Tanya, good to see you. So that baby was very ill. That baby should never have been there in the first place. Where did that devil face come from? Soros you're talking about, or whom? Hamas would take a child to danger as a human shield. Absolutely, Gary. In fact, they told the civilians, this is according to Amir, get up front because Israel won't kill, hey Lisa, won't kill civilians. They won't kill children especially. So put the children and the women up front. And that's what they did. And so Amir was also talking about the fact that some people were trying to pretend that they were dead. You know how they were wrapped in like a white shroud or whatever they were wrapped in, and Israel was videotaping everything. And there was a guy who was laying there pretending to be dead, and he said all of a sudden like he scratched his shoulder and didn't realize that people were videotaping that. Also, he said, a man on crutches who was walking around pretending to be disabled, took notes from the white helmets. Yep, probably so, Brandon. And all of a sudden, what happened when the gunfire started, the man on crutches suddenly found his legs, dropped his crutches, and ran and sprinted away. So this is the kind of thing that, the United Nations and other nations would have you believe, that these people are innocent people, and when they're not. Now, he did also say that Egypt was mad at Hamas. Hamas refused medical aid from Israel. Okay, there you go. Egypt was mad at Hamas for doing what they did on the Gaza Strip. And the day after that attack, there was supposed to be the day of disaster. And Hamas had planned on that day to go, run into Israel, attack Israel, and kill Israelis. Got muted for spamming. Oh, gosh, that's terrible, Alexis. But what happened is that Egypt said to Hamas, you shouldn't have done this. This is ridiculous. We didn't ask you to do this. So we want you to leave. And what did they do? They packed up and they just left. And it was all over. So the day of disaster turned out not to be quite a disaster as they had hoped that it would be. Now, Amir said also that Iran, hey, Teresa, is this their victim act? Hamas likes it. Yeah, exactly, Gary. Iran is mad at losing money because of the withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal. So far, yeah, I know, Chesney, nobody got to vote, right? France has suspended their dealings with Iran, which is going to cost billions of dollars to Iran. Russia is losing money from Iran because they're not getting paid for the weapons that they're building for Iran. So right now, both Iran, Russia are in a lot of bad financial situation. Turkey is also, according to Amir, nobody wants, good morning, now, now, I'll just say good morning now. Turkey is, Erdogan, people in Turkey don't even want Erdogan to be the leader over there anymore. Yeah, I know, Turkey is in bad financial shape too. Now, if you take that to Ezekiel 38 and 39, yeah, Turkey humiliated the Israeli ambassador, but Brandon, supposedly, Israel did it to Turkey's ambassador first. And what happened was they did a strip search, if you will, at the airport, and then Turkey did it in kind to the Israeli ambassador. So what is happening as the financial crisis, if you will, hey, Alexis, starts hurting, Turkey, Iran, Russia, and who knows, some of the other places around there. In the meantime, Israel, that was a bot you just said, good morning to, blocked her. NCAA, I was talking to somebody on Facebook Live, actually. It was Alexis who had gone over there and then came back over to Periscope. So Israel's economy is booming. It continues to boom and getting better and better and better. And so while everybody else, associated with Iran, they're going down, Israel's going up. So if you look at Ezekiel 38 and 39, part of the reason that they come in to attack Israel is to get the spoils, right? So Israel's improving financially, and all the ones surrounding them, the ones that the Bible predicts will come in, they're going down. Money is root to all evil, and now Iran understands evil doesn't pay. Exactly, Rhonda. Good morning, Max. How are you? Yep, spoil and oil, capital O with the oil. That's right. And this is another interesting thing that Amir said, that Israel, he was watching social media, and he said that social media is starting to talk about these times right now as the day of the Messiah. So they're looking for the Messiah to come for the first time. The Jews don't believe that Messiah has ever come. They're still looking for him to come. And they believe that this is the time about which he will come back. And they're starting to call, yes, talks of the temple been going on for a little while. Yep. Hey, how are you? RLU. I forget your name. I'm so sorry. I don't know your real name, so if you tell me, I'll try to remember it. So anyway, they're starting to call Ron. Thank you, Ron. They're starting to call President Trump, they're referring to him as the mini Messiah. Now, Amir wanted to make it clear that they don't think that Trump is the Antichrist, or he doesn't want anybody to believe. No, Carmen, see, that's exactly why he explained it. What it is, though, is showing that the Jewish people are opening up their hearts, if you will, to a Messiah, and they're looking for that person to be the Messiah. And Amir made sure, no, Rhonda, that he's not the Antichrist. But he wanted to make sure that the people, the left in Israel, they hate President Trump, just like the left in America. So he's saying that it's just a sign to show that the Jewish people are opening their hearts up to the possibility of a Messiah, and eventually that person will come in. Yeah, they're open to the idea. That's right, Brandon, just the idea. And eventually they will allow that the person they think is the Messiah to rebuild that third temple on the Temple Mount. So it's just, I mean, it's Bible prophecy coming true, right? And we're watching it all. We're all servants, only one Messiah, Jesus Christ. Well, that's true, Darlene. That's true. But they don't, you know, they don't, they've never read the New Testament. Biden said the school is teaching the children that they have the right to claim the land of Israel by any means necessary. Huh. Yeah, Jupiter Macron. Oh, my gosh. So anyway, I thought that by Amir was very, very interesting. Something that we should hear. We're all servants. Okay. Tinney reported that the U.S. gives over $360 million to UNRWA every year, more than the next 4 countries combined. That's sad. Poor Trump is so ostracized by so many. But that's okay, Carmen, really. And what we just read, and I know that you missed it, looking forward to JD's update on Sunday. Me too, Brandon. What you missed is Romans 13. You should go back and read that, Carmen. Because, and my co-host Bill Cloud on God's Views, we talked about this too. If you haven't seen that, please go watch it. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. But what he said was that if God has put President Trump, if President Trump is his man, God's man for this time, anyone that goes against Trump and what he's trying to do, which would be God's purpose, then they're going to have to pay. And if you read Romans 13 and talking about if you resist the government, that's you're resisting what God put in place. That's not going to turn out well for you. So, that being said, he's being used as God sees fit. Absolutely. As we all are. But, you know, in this case, in a leadership position, in a government role, I absolutely believe that Trump is God's man for this time and his purpose. Rhonda said, after the third temple, yes. Why do we give money to these countries? I don't know. We've always have, I guess, Gary. It's kind of like, you know, things that started out maybe a good thing have now gone bad, and we need to revisit those type of things. Yeah, but anyway, I thought that was really good. I wanted you to hear it. God has used much worse. Exactly. And, hey, Dawn, good morning. And that's why, you know, when you look at President Trump, he's not God, he's not a God, and he's not perfect. That's a heavy load to carry on his shoulders. Noel, we carry that same load, though. God can use us for his purposes if we allow him to. So if that's a heavy load, God will be there to hold that load up, right? He's not going to give you anything that you're not capable of doing. A first, last, and 3-3 Y. Oh, how about first? How's that? Maybe Stormy will become Mary Magdalene. Yeah, there you go. So whatever he's given Trump to do, you know, he's going to be there to help him. Whatever he's given us to do, we don't have the strength to do it. He's going to help us do it. Just like President Trump on his own, he doesn't have that strength. I mean, if you think about it, in some ways, he has some miraculous strength that, from the way I look at it, could only be given to him by God. He's 71 years old, and he runs circles around most of us. Can you explain Bible prophecy on this time after the third temple? Rhonda, I don't know exactly, other than the fact that when the third temple is going to be built, and that's where the Antichrist is going to reign in that third temple for the last 3.5 years of the tribulation. Mike Pence is awesome as well. Yes, he is. He really is. And, for the first time, we have a vice president that I think is strong. And I think that, is out in the public eye. Other vice presidents, you really didn't hear that much about them. They were kind of there, and that's it. And President Trump is not afraid, to share the limelight, if you will, with Vice President Pence. And he always talks about him, how great Mike is as the vice president, that type of thing. We give money to these countries because we are a Christian nation. Give to the less fortunate, Don said. Totally agree. One strong man. Love it. A real man that took care of his body. No drugs and alcohol. Mike Pence sealed the Christian vote for Trump in 2016. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that all of this, watching all of this is so great. Again, you're here. I'm here at this time. God put us here at this time right now for a reason. Everybody who's been on this planet was here for a reason, and that is to promote God's purpose. Hey, Linda, and bring people to God. But we're here at I say, a very special time in Bible history, and we're a part of that. And we're here for that purpose, and maybe here to tell people what's coming, to be the watchman, maybe here to to help people to hear a message like this, for example, once we're all gone and raptured out of here, for people who are left behind to see that they should come to God, that, now is the time to do it, if not before. What Trump did in Israel, God will find favor in him. Absolutely. But Robert, look at this. Not only did he open the embassy in Jerusalem and recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, but in doing so, and in withdrawing at the same time, basically, from the Iran deal, look at the repercussions that it had. It's taken billions away from Iran. It's taken money out of the pockets of Russia. It's taken money out of the pockets of France, unfortunately for them, Germany probably, other countries that were dealing with Iran. It's unfortunate, but it made it was a rippling effect. So it did a lot. And again, part of what, that President Trump could be in office right now for is God's purpose to bring about the prophecy in the Bible right now, And when people said, thank God we got a reprieve, Hillary wasn't president, we may have gotten a reprieve in some areas, but I don't think we got a reprieve as far as going toward the end of the end times. We're still going, and I think even faster than we were before. And that's okay. I mean, if you're a Christian, you should be joyful in the fact that you know that you would be with God sooner than later. These events are showing the nation's true colors. Yes, absolutely. But it's all good news. I mean, it really is good news. Again, if you're a Christian, it's really good news. If you're not, maybe not such good news. And if you're not a Christian, you probably don't believe it anyway. So, let's see, Dawn was saying that Flotish yesterday tweeted and said that she was, I saw part of the tweet that she was doing fine, can't wait to get back, that type of thing. She should be out, I would say, probably tomorrow. And it wouldn't surprise me if they go down to Florida and let her recuperate even more over the weekend, but I don't know. Just my opinion. I have no idea what their plans are. I guess you'll have to listen to all the other pundits on Periscope who seem to think that they have the White House in their, back pockets or whatever. Maybe they can tell you what's happening over the weekend. Other information that I read yesterday, I'm assuming this is true. Mitch McConnell's brother-in-law, that is, the brother-in-law is his wife's sister's husband. I wonder what strategy GOP will use after Trump. I don't know, Brandon. It could be they go right back to the same old rhino principles. I've grown to be happy about the rapture, detaching from material junk, love my stuff, but God more. Exactly, Carmen. Susan, I was sitting for national certification. What happened with Flotus? She had an operation really quickly on a benign issue with her kidneys. She's in the hospital just recuperating, Rhonda, and she'll be coming out this probably today or tomorrow. So Mitch McConnell's brother-in-law is going to be appointed by the president to serve as the director of pension benefit guarantee corp and at the Department of Labor. So I don't know. I would hate to leave somebody out because they were related to somebody, but you're welcome, Rhonda. I think it's a little bit too much with the Mitch McConnell and his wife and her connections back to her, her father in China. It gets a little bit clouded for me. I guess maybe that's the right word. If you could, everybody, we're at the halfway point. I don't know how that happened, but if you could retweet this, I would appreciate it. Yep, and the Chinese connection. Yep, conflict of interest for sure. Brandon says, sometimes I fall down, but God picks me up and dusts me off. Exactly, Wayne, like the rest of us. Greasing the Mitch wheel. Exactly. Wanting probably lend his support. Thank you, Robert, for inviting followers. Yeah, wanting his support, wanting to make sure, in 2020 he's going to be got his back. Don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see. And just in case you are wondering, I think it's Laurel and Yanni at the same time. Just saying. Okay. Did anybody else? What was your opinion, Laurel or Yanni? And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, Teresa's back. Yay. Does anybody know about the Laurel and Yanni type thing? Laurel, yeah. Depends on where you are from. Brandon, for me, it was both. So I'm just saying. Sometimes I heard one and sometimes I heard the other. I know Lynn's like, what are you talking about? Laurel said it was, Dawn said it was Laurel for her. Hey, his song. Hey, Monica, how are you? I tried to retweet and it froze. No big deal, Teresa. Thank you. I heard both too. Yep, I did too. Sad Trump has to concern himself with 2020 in his first 4 years. How are you, Monica? Good to see you. I have never heard of those words. Danielle, it's something that happened yesterday. I heard both actually too. Yep, first I did too. Heard both. Yep. I don't know what that means when we heard both. But who knows? Good to be here. Thank you. What are you talking about? Carmen said. When we get off later, Carmen, just Google Laurel and Yanni. Another name for Milo. No. No, Bob. There was I don't even know why, but there's a little soundtrack that you can hear. BuzzFeed put it out, of course. And certain people can hear Laurel and certain people can hear Yanni. So I think it's Yanny. Could be Yanni or Yanni, whichever way you want to say it. So you can go listen to it. You just Google it. You'll find it. Look, BuzzFeed, put in Laurel. It'll come up. And even Paul Ryan spoke about it yesterday. I think he heard Laurel. Monica heard Yanni. Just to get clicks, remember the blue pink dress. Exactly. Has to do with high and low tones of hearing. Yes, first, that's true. But it's weird that some people can hear only one thing. And like I said, I heard two. I heard them both. So, just kind of weird. So this is the... hey, Hassan. Hey, Susan. Any updates on Melania Trump's surgery? Hassan, she should be coming home probably tomorrow. Because she was just remaining in there for a couple of days to recuperate. She tweeted out she was fine. She's just recuperating. They say that it's an optical illusion for your ears, Dawn said. Yep, I guess so. Today marks the anniversary of Mueller's witch hunt. I don't know if you saw my article today at SusanKnowles.com. But, hey, Junior, good to see you. Junior, is it Laurel or Yanni for you? Hey, Spencer, good morning. So my article talked about the fact that okay, cool. Junior, it's Laurel for him. President Trump, again, talked about this morning about the witch hunt. Mueller doesn't ever give up. That's true. As I talked about in my article, Giuliani, as you know, came out and said basically that the Mueller team said that we're not going to indict the president. I got news for you. They were never going to indict the president. The witch hunt needs to end. I know. It so does, Ernest. So does. Like a year ago. Should never have happened. He should have never been appointed. I know, Monica. And so basically there's a DOJ memo or rule, if you will, dating back to 1973 and reconfirmed again in 2000 that you're not going to indict a sitting president. Now, though the OIG report has not come out yet, Rhonda, I think it's due on the 25th. Yeah, I don't care, Carmen. But anyway, so what happened was a sitting president can't be indicted. But that doesn't mean they can't indict him or try to after he leaves office. So my advice to the Trump team, not that they're asking, is that he never sits down with Mueller. If Mueller does try to subpoena him, then you should take the fifth. Don't even try it. Don't even go there. So, this whole continuing talk about he may sit down and talk with them now that he's not going to be indicted. No, don't do it. So anyway, and also I was trying to think about what was in the second half of that article that I wrote. I wrote it last night, so I don't remember. But they can get away with having relations with interns in Oval Offices. Exactly. Like Obama, let's lock his butt up now. Carmen said, Susan, on Laura Ingraham, they said that they can subpoena him. Yeah, they can subpoena him, Danielle, but he can also take the fifth. And that's what he should do. With the subpoena, if he gets it, then don't do anything. Okay, and now remember, the second part of my article is about, we'd like for the Mueller investigation to be over. It's been a year. They haven't really found anything. It's just ridiculous. But now they're going after a guy. It's obvious there's some kind of cover-up, Charles said. It sure seems so. But not in Trump, on the Mueller side. So they're going after a guy, Jason, I can't remember his last name right now, who worked for Roger Stone. So it looks like what they're trying to do is find out when and if Roger Stone knew about Julian Assange when he dumped all of those emails, the DNC hack. So now they're trying to connect Roger Stone with Julian Assange and probably the Trump administration, still trying to find some kind of Russian collusion. Or they want to try to say, well, Roger Stone lied when he sat in front of the Senate and said there wasn't any Russian collusion. Yes, and that's what I put in my article. They're grasping at straws. Mueller doesn't want to end this. Mueller just wants to keep it going as long as he possibly can. Sounds like a trap by Mueller. Yes, Rhonda. Spencer said, had I been there when he stated that about the indictment, I would have replied, you're doggone right, you will indict our POTUS. Exactly. That's what they're trying to do. But they'll do it after. He should take the Hillary fifth. I do not recall. Well, no, you just don't say anything at all. You can't say, I don't recall. That's not taking the fifth. In fact, if you say anything, that's right, Jason Sullivan. Thank you, Justin. If you say anything, which is what Lois Lerner did, then you have ruined your Fifth Amendment plea. And they should have done that with her. They should have said, okay, you took the fifth, but then you went ahead and you talked, and now, sorry, your fifth, you no longer have the Fifth Amendment to rely on. Hillary deletes 40,000 emails, bleaches her servers, emails Wiener, but still talking about Russia. Exactly. Vaguely answer. Yeah, you don't answer at all. You say, I plead the fifth. You don't say anything. Never indict. There was definitely Russian collusion with Dems and HRC. Exactly, Rhonda. What is the motivation here? Money, power, politics. What is the end game? Patrick, the end game is to destroy a Trump presidency, to never allow Trump to do what he's trying to do as a president. Comey was a crooked cop. I believe that, Ernest. And that has been the whole end game. When they couldn't get Hillary in, which is what they wanted, then they want to destroy anything that comes after that so they can get back into control. You say, at the time, I don't recall, I get back to you. No, Brandon, you don't say anything. You say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. You don't say anything. When they ask you, did you do this? You say, I'm pleading the Fifth Amendment. That's it. Roger Stone was joking about meeting with Julian, and it drove them mad. I know, Robert. It's crazy. And he wasn't even anywhere near Julian Assange, where he was like joking that he had dinner with him or something like that. It is truly unbelievable. Yeah. So, like I said, when Lois Lerner made some statement, basically at that moment, her Fifth Amendment right to plead the Fifth was over. But they didn't follow the law and go after her. They trolled the trolls. I believe Mueller investigation is part of DNC cover up. Oh, absolutely. Trolling them, yeah. And with the IG report that's coming out, I don't know what's going to happen with that. What are they going to find in regards to, the Hillary Clinton? Was there a cover up by Comey? Did the investigation, was it done properly, with the DNC, with the Clinton investigation? Maybe Peter Strzok, McCabe, Comey, what was their involvement? I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is, according to what I've read, and I think it was the Washington Examiner, the information has been sent over. So the letter has been sent over to the FBI and the DOJ. It's in their possession right now. They are going to look through it and determine what may be classified information. Yeah, will Trump come out with a book since everyone else has? Maybe years down the road after writing his memoirs, Brandon. That's what most presidents do. And also, as is standard practice, the IG will be giving that letter to anybody that he has named in that letter. Will give it to their attorneys so the attorneys can meet with their clients and come back with any counter statement. They did that with McCabe as well. So that's kind of standard practice. Now, what that says to me is there are people who are named in there. And I don't, it typically when it's something good, you're not going to give it to somebody's attorney. You'll have to speak English rather than German. We don't speak it in here. After nothing comes out of Mueller investigation, what are Dems and CNN, NBC, ABC going to do now? Well, they'll do like they did yesterday, Junior. They'll talk about the fact that President Trump called illegal immigrants animals when he didn't. When he said that about MS-13, they'll make stuff up. That's what they do. The award for his malicious prosecution cost $105 million. Spencer said Mueller had put 4 innocent men into prison for a murder they did not commit. Even after exculpatory evidence was presented, he fought tooth and nail to keep them in prison. 2 died in prison, Spencer said. So, anyway, it's insanity. Stuff that's going on now, it's all insanity. Oh, suddenly you can speak English. Okay, so the plan to destroy... that went so fast. So the plan is to basically, they wanted Hillary Clinton in as president. They didn't get that. They had everything. I mean, everybody was at play to make that happen. When it didn't happen, now the only thing left to do is to destroy the Trump administration. Because if they feel that if they can destroy the Trump administration, what he's doing, get the public and everybody else, to turn on him, then they'll vote him out and they can get back into control. And that's exactly what they want to do. And that's what they're headed on doing. And that's why the Mueller investigation has been going on for a year. That's why we're now into the 2nd year of the Mueller investigation, even though he could never have indicted the president. I mean, he could have done it, but it wasn't going to go anywhere, and he knew that. Fake media will have no choice but to run old tapes about the Access Hollywood interview. Exactly, Junior. Exactly. Because that's all they got. Billy, whatever his name was, and the president talking, locker room talk about nothing. And nothing was proven that any of it ever happened. He never actually did anything to a person. Look at Gaza and look at Israel. Tell me how Hamas cares for their people. Yeah, Billy Bush. Thank you, Monica. So, I mean, how crazy is that? Let's see. So, and President Trump this morning was also, do you like Q? Robert, I believe that perhaps maybe in the very beginning, a long time ago, Q was maybe a real individual, maybe somebody in the military. It seems as though that a long time ago, that whole board there was compromised, And I think there have been other people that have come out and said that whole board is absolutely, it's not real. I love this country, but I'm so embarrassed to be an American right now. Patrick, I'm not embarrassed to be American because, we're bringing out the swamp, and that's an American thing to do. We want law and justice, and we want truth. But yeah, the Q thing, if you're following anybody, I don't care whether it's Q or somebody else who claims to know all the answers, then you're being very foolish. I would recommend that you don't do that. I would recommend that you may listen to what people are saying, do your own research, make your own decisions. But the only person, if you will, that you should be following is God. That's it. So if you're putting your faith in Q, you're going to be disappointed. Q or anybody else. FBI may have embedded a spy in the campaign bigger than Watergate, is what President Trump said. And absolutely, if that happens, like, are you kidding me? Thank you, Chicago Pops. I was looking at my voter guide and saw that Maxine Waters is up for re-election. Yes, Junior, unfortunately. She doesn't even live in the district that she's up for re-election in, but that's okay because the people there who follow her go hook, line, and sinker. Carmen said, I'm embarrassed by the libs and Dems, not USA as a whole. Exactly. Yeah, Patrick, no matter how embarrassed that you may feel that you are, towards America, and I know what you meant by that, the other countries around are far worse. Well, Bird, why don't you go smell some other stuff then? So anyway, we have people obviously who like certain things that they don't like what I'm talking about, but there's plenty of periscopes that you can go into that believe that exactly the same way you want, and if this isn't your cup of tea, that's okay. Under Obama, our enemies no longer feared us, and our friends no longer trusted us. That is all just a bad history now. Yep. He smells his Cheetos in his mom's basement. I know. And a day early, Brandon. She must have something to do on Friday because getting the basement cleaned out earlier on Thursday causes the trolls to come in here a day early. So, all right. So again, I pray Trump gets a Nobel Prize, greatly deserved. Absolutely. Hey, thanks, Angels. And, as we know, North Korea is now saying, well, we may not have the summit if you do the exercises with South Korea. Too many video games messes up with the mind, I guess. Yep, messes with the mind, Brandon. It sure does. But we're going to wait and see what happens with North Korea. We're going to go ahead with the training that we were going to do in South Korea. I don't know if Kim Jong-un thought we were going to give up our nuclear weapons. I don't know. As we've said all along, as Trump said all along, you got to wait and see what happens with these people. Because, as I've said, Kim is crazy. He is crazy. Anybody that would send people to kill his brother, got to be a little crazy, right? So you have to just kind of take it with a grain of salt and see what you can do. Thoughts on Gina Haspel? She is going to be the next CIA director. I hope North Korea will not pull out. I know, Brennan. I hope, it would be silly if they do, because they can get financial support, not from taxpayers, as we've heard, but from private investments. They would be idiots to pull out. Yeah, Gina Haspel, it looks like that they have enough votes. But let me just tell you, so that you know, who did not vote and who will not vote for Gina Haspel. If I can find that list. Dianne Feinstein. Here are the big surprises. Ron Wyden of Oregon. Kamala Harris. There you know. Kim knows there's no backing out now. Could be. Yeah, I know. I know, Dilly. Naturally, right? The Dems have no respect for Gina. No, but you know what, Junior? As she explained, she wasn't anywhere up the food chain, if you will, where she could have done anything about waterboarding if she had wanted to. But you know who was further up the food chain, who could have done something about waterboarding and anything else that it's being accused of? That would be Brennan. And guess what? They voted him in, no problems. Brennan was in just like that, with all the Democrats saying what a great guy he was. Not one person ever mentioned waterboarding or any kind of torture. So don't give me that crap, you know? Sorry I had to cut out for a while in business. Okay, it's all right, Barbara. So Martin Heinrich of New Mexico, Angus King of Maine, who's an independent. So there you go. There's the people. She's a career CIA operative. Brennan comes out on TV now and sounds like a goofball. I know, Junior. Gina Haspel has been in for 30 years. And McCain voted for him, for Brennan. That's right, Cully. I don't know if he's going to vote for Haspel. He said before he wasn't, but he wasn't on this list, and that's odd. I don't know if it's because of, what it's because of. I don't know if it's because he's sick, and people don't want to talk about him and put him on a list. I don't know. Net neutrality that passed. What they want to do is they want to repeal what the FCC did. So Obama passed something. The FCC repealed it and said, no, it's Obama. We don't want it, right? And so the Senate is saying repeal what the repealers did. And so it's probably going to have an uphill battle. Hey, Marlene, an uphill battle in the House. And hopefully it's not going to happen. Oh, boy. Are you talking about the more than 60 Palestinian Christians and Muslims who... Nope, you're wrong. They weren't killed by the Jews, and I know you want to come in and be anti-Semitic, but even Hamas came out and said that 50 out of the 60 people were their own terrorist military who got killed. So anyway, so let's hope that it stays the way it is and it doesn't pass in the House. So we'll see what happens. All right, some more information. This is not like breaking news, I guess, in the type of international news, but I wanted to bring it out. I guess that it's coming out now. Yeah, they get paid if they get hurt too. Yes, Monica. Yes, they got paid. Well, except there's not very much money to pay them, so we don't know if they're going to get paid or not. Yeah. Well, bye, sweetie. Why don't you go find another Periscope to go to? Good Lord. Okay, so it's coming out that Whitney Houston was sexually abused. I'm so glad this camera only shows you, Susan, and isn't both ways this morning. Whitney Houston was sexually abused by her cousin, are the allegations, and her brother says that he was also sexually abused by Whitney Houston's cousin. So... I guess the brother, I believe, is writing a book, and it's coming out in that. So nobody knew about that until after Whitney Houston had gone. So anyway, also the jobless claims are at the lowest level in nearly half a century. Are we hearing that on mainstream media? Absolutely not. Whitney Houston, Carmen, was allegedly abused by her cousin. Hey, Barb, how are you? That's according to her brother, and her brother says that he was also abused by her cousin, Dee Dee Houston. Family probably knew. Yeah, probably so. Quick question. Who are you voting for California Senate? Junior, I don't know yet. It'll be a Republican for sure, but I don't know. I have no idea yet who I'm going to vote for in the primaries for governor. Just not sure. We have to see where, for me, I have to see where the polls are. Jobless claims are one thing, but what are they part-time and versus full-time position numbers? I don't know, Brandon. Could account for a lot of her problems. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the California candidates. I know, it's scary. And again, if we don't get this right for the California governor, if California splits its votes in the primary between John Cox and Travis Allen, if we split it, then we're going to lose any chance of having a Republican governor. You've got to get behind one guy who's going for California governor for the Republicans. You got to get behind one guy and vote that guy. Now, right now, for the polls, John Cox is in the number 2 position, meaning Gavin Newsom, the wacky, crazy Democrat lieutenant governor that we have who's running for governor, he's number 1. John Cox is number 2. Travis Allen is probably number 3 or number 4. So it's all on who you believe and all where you want to, put your votes. But when I find out who's ahead in the Republican polls for governor, that's where I'm going to put my vote. And I hear more about Travis Allen than I do about John Cox. But this, again, what'll happen is we'll get to the general. We'll have 2 Democrats running for governor. That's what'll happen. And that's a real possibility in California if they don't get it right. This is kind of odd, but the Republican big donors, the Koch brothers, are funding political ads praising Democrats on their immigration policies, which is unbelievable. They're backing those who want to find a permanent solution for DACA. I hate when the GOP is not on the general ticket. I know, Brandon. Newsom will probably win. I know, NCAA. Boo hiss, Marlene said. And Gavin Newsom, as I've told you, is farther left than Jerry Brown. So I don't know, again, honestly, I think some people are looking at Travis Allen, and I hate to say this, but I'm getting the impression they're like, oh, he's so good looking, and they're going for Travis Allen. And it's like, I don't care if he has 3 eyes and 2 noses. Really, I don't. I want whoever is ahead in the Republican to get in. So California would go even further left. Yes, Brandon. Very good possibility. Bread and circuses, Dave Dilly said. I'd rather vote for Villagrosa than Newsom, but both are Democrats. And you know what, Junior? They're both just as evil. If that happens, if there are 2 Democrats for the governor, I'm going to vote Republican. I'll write in. I'm not going to vote for Democrat. Didn't that happen in the last California Senate race? 2 Dems running against each other in general. Yep, I believe so. Just like voting for Obama because he was black. Yeah, you got to vote for somebody who is qualified, but also on your ticket. Vote Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse would be saner than Gavin Newsom. The Koch brothers want that cheap labor, just like too many on the right. Spencer said that to me. It was so disappointing to me, Spencer, to see that. Or Hillary for being female. Exactly. Villagrosa was a mayor here in L.A. and was a disaster. He still is the mayor, isn't he, Junior? I think he still is the mayor. The mayor that's running for governor. He's horrible. He is so pro-illegal immigrant. And probably a large population of illegal immigrants are right there in Los Angeles. Who isn't a disaster? I don't know. It'll be difficult, but certainly I'm not voting for a Democrat. I don't care. Like I said, I will write in a Republican before I will vote for a Democrat ever. Okay, so speaking of, I know, Garcetti is the mayor. Oh, yeah, he's run the city to the ground too. That's right, Junior. You're right, Eric Garcetti. Good Lord. Ugh. California's being ruined by illegal immigration. Yep. Election is like a shot to the leg or arm. Yep. Speaking about horrible and evil, George Soros right now is pumping a lot of money into the DA races, especially in San Diego, where a public defender who has absolutely no management or idea of how to run things, public defender is running for the DA against a woman who is actually she graduated in the law school class a year ahead of me, very smart cookie, Stephen Summers, and she's running for DA. Hey Wanda, good morning. And so George Soros is pumping money into her opponent. And finally, the Association of Los Angeles Deputy District Attorneys said, spoke out against it. Garcetti thought he was going to be in Hillary's cabinet, but plans got derailed. That's right, Junior. His picture is like the Chancellor from Star Wars. Which one, Brandon? Oh, Soros, you mean? Yeah. Oh, God, yes. So, I guess it's okay for Soros to interfere with the elections, right? I mean, isn't he an oligarch? He's not Russian that I know, but he's an oligarch, and that's okay. Why isn't Mueller running over there and investigating that? I know the answer to that, so it's okay. Chancellor Soros, yep. Um, so Hungarian, yeah. Trying to think of anything else that we have just like a second left. Gosh, we ran out of time. I will see you back here tomorrow. God bless you. Please retweet this if you will. Please share this if you'd like. Please share my article at susanknowles.com. Shadow banning's coming. I think I've already been shadow banned as it is. So the more that you can help me, the more I really do appreciate your help. Retweeting and sharing, always great. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. And I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Whoops. I can never go. There we go. All right, everybody on YouTube. Thanks so much. I will see you tomorrow. God bless.